Boom! 2 seconds after getting knocked out in your fight, and you gonna hit a big, tough security guard guy. What happened in the lead up to the UFC fight, and then you missed the weight, and then your opponent wouldn't take it, or
going up a weight class, I just
are you looking to get back in the mixed martial arts?
I got unfinished business over there, but
Dana, call Bryan Battle, man. He's on the good path. He's on the good foot.
I'm be a good boy. I promise.
Why didn't Raja do anything when the first beer thing happened? Bringing Raja in, who is not a professional wrestler, having him sign papers saying he can go into the ring and do this act. It's a thin line because of the professional sport.
The thin line would cross though after about the 5th unconscious punch.
In my opinion, and Rampage just said it too. He's like, oh, all right, everybody, we're back, man. Incredible weekend in Miami. Overdogs podcast, back on the scene, back in queue. What's up with you?
Dude, I want to know this first right off the bat. DBX3, banger, absolute banger. You crushed it on commentary. I need to know the backstory. What the happened, bro, when homie threw punches at the security guard?
Yeah, I think he was talking to his guy who he used to know, and the security guard said something, or he was throwing shade, and you
had me cracking up on commentary.
Bam said, let's get back in the winner's circle. Yeah. Boom! 2 seconds after getting knocked out in your fight, and you gonna hit a big, tough security guard guy. I think Bam Bam's attitude, I mean, those security dudes are tough, bro. Bro was so mad, and all the other guys was gonna jump him. Concussions can help you make waves sometimes, I guess, and Bam Bam was doing well in the fight. He got hit with a hard one. He was kind of winning, and then he got hit with one clean shot, just took him out, and he was crawling out of the ring, and then the ref called it, and then he went and he hit the security guard, and they got into a fight. There's a little sideways takedown there. It was a good time. He said, welcome to the Bam Bam show.
He definitely
promotes it. He promotes it. He's not with any games. Maybe we can make that matchup. I don't know. I don't know if the weight class would even be close.
Yeah, dude was big. He slammed him down quick. Well, what was your other big takeaways from DBX3? Obviously, it started with 7 in a row finishes, dude. We were going crazy.
We had Platinum Tequila was in the building.
Yeah.
I had a shot or two to start the night off. And then after the 6th fight, the 5th or the 6th fight, I go, man, next knockout, I'm going to start drinking. I'm going to start taking some big shots just so I get wild on the mic. And because I said that, and I had this little shot sitting in front of me in a clear cup, I was like, knockout's gonna happen. Doesn't happen. A couple banger fights. There was 3 maybe in a row. When I said I was gonna start drinking, then the knockouts stopped coming. So it was
you who jinxed it then.
I guess it was okay. So Wild Juan Alvarez versus Maximus Corey Jackson. They went to decision. It was a great fight, though. It was a lot of skill on Juan's end where he was moving and using his feet, being smart. Corey's tough. He's brutal. He's willing to get in that pocket and trade. He's low to the ground, stocky. It was a really, really close fight. Some people had Juan. Some people had Corey. I thought it was a good fight. Corey got his next win. I think he's 2-0, 3-0.
3-0.
3-0 in dirty boxing. And, and then I'm like, the big boys are coming out. Chase Sherman and his opponent Batista or something was his name. His name was Batista, I'm pretty sure.
DaCosta.
Acosta.
But close enough.
Whatever. And I'm like, there's no way this goes to the cards. I'm going to have my shot. I'm commentating. I'm like, there's no way this goes to the cards. Bro, Chase is getting hit with some haymakers. Chase hits him back with some and after the night, it's like, there's been some fights where guys were literally so close to being knocked out, and they get up and knock the other guy out, and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? And then these two were back and forth, but Acosta was sharp for a big guy, man. He was like lower to the ground. He was a little shorter. Chase is tough. I expected him to get the jabs going more, but he was getting countered too easily. Mm-hmm. They went to decision. 250 pounds each. They went to decision. And they were banging.
Yeah.
No, bro. They were
Dude,
banging.
my mom legit hit me up like, oh, your Dirty Boxing thing's on. You're like, how do I watch it? So I told her YouTube, and I think it was a Chase Sherman fight she went to because she saw my tweets about how it's like 7 in a row finishes, all this shit. Yeah. And dude, after she's all texting me like, that guy, the Killa Gorilla or whatever, you know,
Vanilla,
what is it? You know what I'm talking about? His nickname. And she's just like going crazy. Like, he wouldn't go down. She was glued to that. She's like a huge Sherman fan. I'm like, you know, he lost, right? And she's like, I don't care. That was so impressive. Like, she was going off on it, dude.
It was a good fight. And then what was the next fight? It might have been, was that when Alex Caceres came out?
I think so.
So
dude.
Then that next fight,
decision.
There was finally a body shot TKO, and I took a shot, I think. Or then it was a girl fight, might have been. It might have been Jessie Jess after the big card. I don't know.
Let me check. I'll check.
All right, that was main card. There was 15 fights, dude.
I know,
there was
bro.
16 if you count the Bam Bam and security guard. Dude, we had 16 fights. That was insane.
It was Sherman versus Costa, then Breeden Quiones.
Oh yeah, Landon the lone wolf Quiones versus Mike Breeden. That was a banger. So it was 3 decisions, and I was like, damn it, I want this shot. But like, those were 3 really good fights. Like Quinones versus Breeden. Breeden just put his hands down, starts taking little pepper punches, and starts winging big shots back. Who's getting clobbered though? Quinones has high level skill. He just came from the UFC. You know, he was having fun in there. He was peppering little shot, pat, 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 pat combinations, head movement, pat, 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 pat. Such a good performance out of him. It was a banger though, because Mike Breeden helped bring the fight. You know what I mean? Like, he was like going for broke in the third.
He was letting him hit him too.
It was a baller ass night of fights, dude. Tons of fights. And
what else did we hear?
10 out of 15, really. 10 out of 15 were knockout. That's 67% TKO rating for the sport of dirty boxing.
Super high.
Super fun night of high impact, just exhilaration.
Well, we have to mention Silva versus St. John's, bro. That's got to be DBX #1 all-time fight right there. That's like that was the one where homeboy got rocked and he's stepping back and he has the little count, so he stands up immediately. Superman punches. Bro,
Yes.
That's your Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner.
Dude, that was so fun. I was like, what is happening right now, bro?
In my living room jumping up, say, what the? That was fire as.
Oh man, there was some knockouts of the night. To recall it, like, I'd have to see the pictures of the guys in front of me to figure out who would. You know, I don't even think we figured out who gets the bonuses yet. Maybe more of the team did, because we talked about it in group chat. And I was like, it was like one sure one was, you know, you got to give one to Cannon.
Oh my God.
Cannon came out. He killed everyone's parlay. no one had Cannon.
I almost put him on a parlay.
No one had Cannon.
I can't say I almost did though.
Let's bring our guest in, man. He can help us talk about it. We got the great Bryan Battle in the house. The Butcher. Let's go after a big weekend of DBX. We were just blown away. We were just talking to each other. My guy, Mac Malley, and me were talking about how fun that night of fights was, all the knockouts we got, and just the combat sport in general. And now we got you here, man. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Man, no, dude, everything about it was a blast. You know what I'm saying? You know, the whole organization, the staff, everything behind the scenes was really cool. You know what I mean? The venue was a hell of a vibe. You know what I mean?
Little debauchery activities after the event. That's Miami for you, man. Wild out there.
Oh, but nah, Miami was cool, man.
Shaq was DJing out there.
You said what?
Shaq was out there DJing at this one sardine can that I went to.
There was so much happening. It was hard to keep up with, man. You know, like Nate Diaz was there. I didn't even see him. You know what I mean? There was a lot going on, man. You know, I was having a blast the whole time, though.
Yeah, man. After a big performance too. So, you know, your opponent. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he looked way more muscular at the day of the weigh-ins and face-offs, and he had his shirt on. I was like, damn, he kind of big in that. And like people were talking about his loss rating and this and that or whatever. I mean, he came out swinging.
Oh, winging.
But like, yeah, winging it. And once you figured that out, that he was just gonna wild it, you threw like a feint and he missed a big punch, and then you just like kind of touched him, and he fell back into the ropes.
Yeah.
I know I didn't really get the question out there. The question should have been like
what shot did you hit him with you think made him quit?
It was a left. Well, I think there was a stiff jab that like cut him open off the rip that made him not want to be there. But it was I want to say it was a left hook that caught him.
Because he had a cut right there.
Just like, yeah, no, he was cut right off the rip. Bless his heart. But you know, I mean, it's you know. And fighting, you know, there's always a chance. So it's like, you know, people, like you said, people were talking about his MMA record and everything. You know, that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you let that get to your head, then you mess around and lose the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't afford to lose. You know,
James Cannon had a big performance, and his record's like 10-9 or 9-10, and he was like, it's not a boring fight on my record. These guys been trying to take me down for years. This sport was built for me. I loved his post-fight speech, and he after a big win, man, he earned it.
Nah, that was
who expected that?
Nah, and I just met Hector this week. I met both of them. They're both cool as hell. You know, that's the tough thing about, you know, fighting. You get to know these motherfuckers before the fight happens, and then like, no matter what happens, you feel sorry for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough because there can only be one winner, you know? So, but nah, you know, kudos to him, because, like, that was a big-time performance, and, you know, that definitely, you know...
Get your name out there.
Help him, you know, establish himself and get more big opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. I mean, speaking of big opportunities... you know, we had some tough questions on cue for you, such as, you know, what is the goal with your future career? Are you looking to get back in the mixed martial arts category? Are you looking to make your way back to the UFC? Or are you pretty comfortable considering possibilities of where you could go in dirty boxing?
Well, the biggest thing is, like, right now, just staying active, staying busy, and taking things one fight at a time. You know, controlling what I can control. I'm definitely gonna do MMA again. Because it's just I got unfinished business over there. But with that being said, I love the dirty boxing. You know what I'm saying? That was a blast. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to do more. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the it's hard to answer questions when you are kind of like a free agent, but that's kind of the benefit of being a free agent is that you kind of have the ability to kind of bounce around and do different things.
Yeah. That is a good part about being in mixed martial arts. It's all mixed martial arts when you consider, bare knuckle, dirty boxing, MMA, like actual cage fights, and then even influencer boxing. It's just different parts of the martial arts sports, and gives you more room when you're a big name and you make a lot of noise like you do. Hopefully after a big win, there's some opportunities calling. I'm sure DBX is going to be calling you, trying to work on something. Because of my fight's coming up soon in October. We're working on the next venue and date for the next DBX. So we might surprise a few people with something like that. But, this whole month of September, people are going to be craving dirty boxing. And I'm not sure what's going to happen for them for this month. Sad news, I know.
Nah, but that's a good problem to have. As the dirty boxing, you know what I'm saying? Having the people in a position where they are desperate for more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's cool, like, just watching the trajectory of, how things are, like, with each show, things are growing and, you know what I'm saying, getting better and bigger every time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very, I'm so proud of my partners, the way that they've built it. I saw a news article about, there was 3 organizations over the weekend as UFC was dark, and we all implemented the UFC's protocol and game plan of how they go about things. Maybe we did it all a little differently in our own ways, but we had success over the weekend in the sport of combat in some form or another, and we made lots of noise. So that's big. I got my fight coming up. What do you think about bare knuckle?
Bare knuckle, right now I want to stay as active as possible, so I don't think my hands are conditioned enough to stay active doing bare knuckle. That's the thing. I know some people who compete in bare knuckle, and that's, you see everyone's face after the fights, and they're like, bro, the face ain't even the issue after one of those fights, you know what I'm saying? It's your hands. Your hands are after the fight. And I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, blocking the punches with your hands, hitting. So, just trying to stay active, I'd like to be able to fight with some gloves on, you know what I mean? But, you know how it is, being a fighter, saying, like,
well, you had a fast night. You had a really fast night, right? And you're like, damn, I'm ready to go back to the gym. I'm ready to go punch on some other people. And, dirty boxing needs a call. So anybody who's listening, before dirty boxing tries to lock down Bryan Battle over here, get him another one fight off for this month, the month of September. He's open. He's available right now. Before we're going to lock him down, I know our people are going to be calling his manager. So, get him booked. What do you guys think about Big Tony Ferguson, man, getting back in the win column after 8 losses?
I was nervous, dog. I was nervous.
I was nervous too.
It's all like, I thought Salt Poppy was the dude who did this thing, but
that's crazy. Wait, no.
Salt Poppy hasn't done his. Salt Poppy does this, right? And he hasn't been as good since he got in shape. When he was fat, Salt Poppy, he was knocking fools out, bro. And then he learned all this technique and worked with all these coaches and did training. That's when you start overthinking. You start doing too much or doing too little. When he was big Salt Poppy, he was just going out there and banging and getting knockouts.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You see, like, people when they like learn how to fight proper, they kind of like lose a little bit of what made them special sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Not all, like, you know, you need to learn how to like do things the right way. But yeah, like you said, like but I mean, it's like the longer you fight, like, what is the right way to fight? You know what I'm saying? It's like you either whoop someone's ass or you don't. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, you know, learning technique, like you say, you start overthinking. You get more predictable. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a like with this there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, now I gotta just like sit here for a second and figure out what going on right here. You know what I'm saying? He's just like wailing punches, not throwing clean technical strikes. You know what I'm saying? It's like this isn't what happens in class. You know what I'm saying? This isn't the type of practice. But unfortunately for him, it didn't work, and he got his ass whooped. You know what I mean? But you know, sometimes that works out in people's favors. You know,
it was a bit of a fast stoppage. I mean, Tony opened up one combination and was just kind of letting them hands fly, and he was touching him up. But that's a good win for Tony, so I'm not mad at it. And Salt Poppy will be back. You know, you take your wins. The best thing, like you're saying, stay active, keep fighting, keep getting those lessons in the ring, get that ring time in, and then, you know, you figure out more about yourself. And I was watching some Joe Rogan stuff today. He was like, who's he talking to? It was when he was talking to Ilya Taporia. He was talking about what he always thought of mixed martial arts. It's like advanced problem solving with dire
physical consequences.
Consequences, yeah. I thought that was sick. So, you know, Joe Rogan's been teaching us all for years.
Nah, Joe Rogan was super OG. Super OG of the game, man. Holy.
For real. Bro's been around the corner, man. And then some.
I'll stack on a question for that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, so what'd you guys think? The Salt Poppy TKO, the ref seemed to be all over the place with misfits. Because, like, I don't know, they protected him a little bit because, like, you know, he was just peppering with the shots. But then what happened with Rockhold? They let him get... That combo was...
Well, he, you know, Darren landed a good two left hands.
That was a filthy combo.
It was like a 5-2, 5-4.
I don't know, and you know, I haven't competed in straight boxing. I'd rather be unconscious. Like let me die. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, don't stop the fight while I'm still conscious. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm covering up, like go ahead and just like let me get put to sleep, man. Because if I'm still conscious, I can still win the fight. You know, even if I'm getting my ass whooped. You know, if I'm still conscious, I can come back and win that. You know what I mean? But you know, but Salt Poppy,
let you break into new territory. I hear what you're saying. Jake Paul, I got up. And Chris Young, he's like, move this way. So I try to like bounce and shake a little bit of that off of my legs. And I bounced, and he's like, move this way. And I stumbled. I was like, and then he's like, no, that's it. No, come on, man. But the same thing happened to Thiago Alves and bare knuckle. But like, I stumbled because we were in the 6th round. That was the longest fight of my life. All of UFC was 15 minutes. BKFC 12 minutes max. Under the lights, 17 minutes. So for 6 rounds, 3-minute rounds, in the 6th round, if you count the in-betweens, I've been under the lights for 20 minutes. Yeah. And I was tired. I was getting tired, bro. I ain't gonna lie. So I stumbled.
Well, I feel like that's like, you even being in like the different environments got to like have some sort of effect. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that's not a comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like it, you know, it's like you've done a couple bare knuckles, so it's like, but bare knuckles different than fucking boxing. Fucking
Very
Jake
different.
Paul's a whole. That's a lot of that comes with that. Like that's not like a normal type of fight type.
Yeah, I remember this lady at the beginning of the walkout. I was like, she's like, I walk out into the crowd and my song is playing, and then she stops me, which doesn't happen. And then she's like, wait right here for a little bit. Or she's just like, wait right here for a second. Okay? I'm like, stand here. I'm like, I'm in the middle of the arena. Everybody's looking at me. I'm standing here. After like a couple minutes of song playing, she's like, okay, you can go. I'm like, well, you said right here. What the
Yeah.
That me up, dog.
Yeah, I mean, fucking now you ready to whoop her ass. Like, yo, what the hell?
Better whoop Jake's ass, man.
How big is that motherfucker in real life for real?
I mean, I guess either, 230, 220, 230 in there.
Wow, he's all over the place. He kind of bounces around.
I'm about 187 right now. I'm getting my weight right. I gotta work on these biceps, man. I gotta do more curls. You know how boxers be having them boulders and shit? I gotta get my boulder game up, dog. It's just my white skin is misplacing it, dude.
Man, like the muscle game, like I can get tone and stuff, but it's like, have you ever worked out with like NFL?
I've done some football stuff, but I used to went to high school with Mark Ingram. We used to do some workouts.
That's I say that because I would go to the strength and conditioning spot, and I used to do these group workouts, and there'd be NFL guys that would work out every once in a while, and you don't feel like till you start lifting weights with a dude that's like in the NFL. And you're like, God damn, this is obnoxious right now. Like, what are you?
Yo, they be benching like 550, like
with a band, with a band wrapped around, and they'll be moving it casually. They'll put it down, they're like, whew. Meanwhile, I'm shaking. You know what I'm saying? With like significantly less weight. I'm like, don't talk to me, dog. Don't talk to me about how that was hard, bro. But no, yeah. Fortunately, fighting. It doesn't come down to, the aesthetics.
Exactly. Then you put them in the ring and see how they move. They be strong for the first minute, but their plays are like 10 seconds long.
Yeah, if that, on the long end of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's a return. That's a kick return.
And what they say, man? It was Dillon Danis talking to, who's that guy? The 350-pound.
Oh, Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall. Yeah, they was like, oh, if he gets under 300, Dillon Danis will fight him.
Yeah, but then Danis has also said he wants to go to the UFC and he'll beat Khamzat. I don't know.
I don't believe anything Dillon Danis says, to be honest. Until it actually happens. Yeah. And I don't even not like the guy. I just don't believe anything he says until I actually see it happen and follow through and whatnot.
What do you guys think about his fight? Because why the that dude shoot on him first of all? And it looked like he tagged him. It looked like he kind of tagged Danis for a second. His feet kind of went, oh shit. Why did he jump into it? I don't know. What do you guys think?
The lights make people do weird things, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like people, he might have not have did that all fight camp. Then he got underneath the lights and just stopped thinking.
He was like, well, let's see what they're all talking about.
Yeah, facts.
I want to see what happens when we grab each other.
Yeah.
Bro got his neck real quick. I mean, it was a good win for Dillon Danis. I never heard of his opponent. Luke, good win for Till. But he still turned down $2 million to fight me bare knuckle, and he wants to say that I turned it down to fight him. But bare knuckle literally gave him a $2 million offer, and Misfits gave me like a $200,000 offer.
That's crazy. That's
Why would I take that?
Yeah. Nah, big facts.
And I'm fighting at 175. This is ridiculous, man. I'm so excited to fight. I've been training my ass off. I've been eating, dieting, healthy. I've always been a smaller guy. You are someone who went up, or you were a big boy. What was the most you ever weighed? And then what do you sit around now?
300 pounds was the most I ever weighed. Now, I walk around. Right now, I'm probably like 210. After about a couple of weeks of like, started working out again on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, I was pretty fresh, so got back home, got right back to working out. After a couple of weeks of working out, I'll probably be down about 200 pounds. But it's something I gotta stay on. Like, if I'm not on top of it, it can. Like, I can blow up pretty big if I don't stay on top of it.
Do you feel like you have this strength because you used to be 300 pounds, your body used to carry that weight, and you would move around with that weight, and then when you started exercising and cutting that weight so much, you had this strength?
Dude, it's weird because people will say I'm, like I said, like if you lift weights with me, I'm not like lifting crazy weights by any means.
What are you benching for a 10 reps? 225 for 10?
We'll say 225.
Man, I always want to be able to hit 225 for 10, so I'll go to the gym and I don't even warm up. I just go right to 225.
We'll say 225 for 10. I got long arms, man.
What about squats? You do the legs?
Oh yeah, no, I just did my strength and conditioning coach is he's a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? We do a whole leg workout with and you're doing the curls on the machine.
You do more reps than you do high weight?
Depends on the workout and depends on like how close we are to the fight and what the.
So sometimes you do high weight.
Sometimes do high weight, working on the power and the explosion.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll do reps. Always end the workout with sprints, which is diabolical. You know what I'm saying? To do a whole leg workout and then to end it with sprints.
Oh.
And the thing is the sprints are timed, right? So if you don't finish the sprint in time, every sprint you miss is 20 burpees.
Like a track lap?
We're inside, so it's on turf. So you do like. There's different forms, but basically, like, one lap is 25 yards to one cone, 25 yards back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So there's different variations of the type of sprints we'll run. They're all evil. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's like, after you're done, you're like, oof, man, damn, I feel great. But it's one of those things you're dreading it the whole entire time. Like, even yesterday, like, I'm coming back and I'm like, maybe it won't make me do sprints today. You know, I'm not saying anything there. I'm like, maybe it won't make me do sprints today. You know, it's my first workout. Maybe it won't make me. We get to the end and, it's all right, go hit 25 leg ups on the thing and then come over here and do this workout. And I was all right, are we done after that? He was like, no, we still got sprints up there. I was like, okay, that's what I thought. I was just checking. I was just making sure we still had those at the end. But I just do kind of whatever he tells me to do, and it always. So I know it's working.
I'm curious, when you were up at around 300, what motivated you? Like, what got you into MMA? Like, what motivated you to lose the weight?
So I was just I became a big fan of MMA in high school. Mm-hmm. But I was homeschooled, so I had like really no outlet to, I couldn't wrestle
discuss
or
it with anyone. Yeah.
And when I was 21, that's what like it was. Yeah, I played football and basketball though. Get to 21, that's why I blew up. I stopped playing sports. You know what I'm saying? Got heavy, and I was always a fan, but watching Robbie Lawler come back to the UFC after getting released, and watching his run was like,
Whew.
it was so inspiring. Like the fights that he had, like his second fight with Rory McDonald is what, like literally I watched that fight and I was like, I need to go to the gym and see what kind of man I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was like, I just got to figure out. I just need to figure out, you know. And it was like a bucket list thing. I was in community college. I was like, okay, well, you know, realistically, I'm starting at 21. I'll just like go in there, and after I lose my first fight, I'll stop and I'll get like I'll go back to school and get a regular job and whatever, you know. And so I started training. I lost the first 60 pounds just training, so I'm walking like 240. My first fight, actually, my first amateur fight, the guy was cornering. I'm having a brain fart on the fighter he was cornering, but it was one of the guys who won. In his corner was this dude named Michel Andre. Michel Andre is a real heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? He kicked me in the head, knocked me out in the first round. Viral. Dan Henderson, Greg Jackson are reposting it. It's my first amateur fight. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, like, I wake up in the back. I'm looking around. I'm like, damn, I thought I walked out already. You know what I'm saying? I asked my coach, I'm like, Coach, what happened? He was like, Bryan, you got knocked out. This is the 13th time you've asked me what happened. Just sit here. Don't go anywhere. Just sit here. And after that fight, and so I was like, well, I know I said I'd stop after I lost my first fight, but I can't stop after that. Like, that'd be kind of a move to stop after that. And I was like, and maybe I could lose some more weight and make 205. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was really like, competitively, I was just like, all right, well, you know, let me just see what happens, you know, and then got to 205. It was really getting to 205 and not having abs, which, you know, I was like, that's kind of fucked. You know what I'm saying? So then eventually when I went down to 185, I was like, all right, there's some abs here. All right, cool. So I settled at 185 for a while. Then I got to the point where I could get to 170 for a little bit. So, you know, it was all competitive reasons. Yeah, I think after I'm done fighting, I'll probably be like 220. I think 220 is like my happy weight. You know what I mean? If I don't got any competitions or whatnot.
I got a question you just made me think of. You know Sean Woodson from the UFC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he was a heavyweight. He boxed at heavyweight. He fought at featherweight. How crazy is that to you?
That's insane because he's taller than me. You know what I mean? Like I'm a pretty decently tall person, even at 185. Like, I'm not a small middleweight. You know what I'm saying? Even at the highest level, like I'm at welterweight, I was massive. You know what I mean? 145, that mother is a Goliath. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make any goddamn sense. But hey, good for him, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild, man. Bag of sticks at 145. And he used to be heavyweight. That's crazy. And I can't gain any weight. I'm just stuck, man. I gotta sit down on the couch and eat for a year. I think I kind of tried to do that. I just get full and stop. It doesn't work for me.
Nah, it's my whole family. We're big boned people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you saw the big white dude in my corner. That's my dad. He's an inch taller.
He was huge, yeah.
Yeah, that's my old man, dude. Bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? It's up. I thought it'd be taller than my dad. Never got there. You know what I mean? So
it's like, how was grappling at 185 in the UFC? Because that's a big. So, like, I always fought 170 in the UFC. I haven't fought 170 in a long time. I go 175 and I box at 185. Those are my two weight classes. And then I tried to fight at 200. And it was a little heavy. But, like, in the UFC, it's like if I went from 170 to fight at 185, guys like Lyoto Machida, Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa, like, take you down, hold you down. And I've been in the gym with guys like that, and I'm literally I try so hard to get up from underneath, and I just couldn't do it. So how does that, I know the dirty boxing, there was no jiu-jitsu, is probably a nice little, fun time. But then, doing that jiu-jitsu with these heavier guys, even though you used to be bigger, Like how did that work out for you?
Man, was like you said, I mean, in the gym, even when I went to welterweight, you know, I'm always still grappling dudes that are 185, 205. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just on frame wise, I'm in that ballpark, so I just end up partnered up with those anyways, and it's. You know, in the lower weight classes, you know, they're faster and have better endurance and are generally more technical. You know what I mean? And if, you know, if someone, it's kind of like what you said about the NFL guys, like normally if someone starts off stronger than you, that strength doesn't last for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That strength will last for about 2.5 minutes tops. And if you just say squirmy, I'm a squirmy I'm saying, especially on the ground. Like I'm not very strong. I'm not very fast, but I get slippery and I'm squirmy as. You know what I'm saying? So after if bigger and stronger than me, normally it's like it'll be rough for a little bit, but I'll get them before it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? I'll end up on their back or something by the time.
Interesting. Are you a black belt in jiu-jitsu? Just no gi. You just do no gi.
I can tap, dude. Man, black belt is like a tough thing because like some black belts, there's like different types of black belts. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like black belts I can tap out, and then there's black belts that, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like and not even like this is can't be. 170 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Just been grappling forever, especially when you're doing just jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? It's different
With
if you
the
can
gi?
the
You wear
face.
the gi?
Never
wore a gi.
No,
Wow.
I used to do the gi a lot.
But now you just do no gi.
Now I just do no gi, and I spend a lot more time working on my wrestling now. Because that's something. My entries are really good. I've been working on my finishes a lot. That was like something I was pretty excited to show off in the last fight that fell through. The gi is, after I'm done fighting, I'll probably get heavy duty into the gi. It's just the gi, so there's so many more facets to the gi, and it's so much more, you know what I'm saying? You can
Grab that mother, hold on tight.
It's a whole different game, you know what I mean? It's a whole, especially at a high level, you know what I mean? So the gi I don't do as much anymore. That's why I'm not a black. I got to purple belt, and after that I stopped doing gi, and so I haven't been promoted in a long time, you know.
Same. Yeah, I got the 4-stripe purple, and I was just like hitting people with bare knuckles. Like, I want to get in there and fight dirty boxing, man. I love the rule set.
Dude, the rule set's fire, man. I think the rule set, because MMA is great because it's like, all right, you got everything in there, but then obviously people will complain, when Hamzat takes DDP down and just out grapples them for 25 minutes.
Right.
Or, in dirty boxing.
Can't do that.
Can't do that.
Now, I thought the referees did a great job on Saturday night, on Friday night, considering how they're learning things about the sport too, and how we all kind of want it to look. Sam Burgos, I think, was the referee for you, and he would let his, your opponent would kind of grab onto the leg to start the wrestling. You weren't necessarily off of your feet, and the ground and pound in some of your areas should have still been valid to continue with. But I did enjoy some of the fights. Sam Burgos would let a couple punches get off, and then maybe if there was like a second of a knee touch or anything like that on the body weight, he would split it up, stand the guy back up, and continue the boxing. Maybe it wasn't Sam Burgos with you. It was the tall Spanish guy. He was trying to get your opponent to come up. God, I was hoping he was going to get up.
I was confused. I was like, even the first time I was looking at him, I was like, is he gonna stand up? Then he stood up. I was like, all right, he stood up. Then the second time, I was like, oh, what are you doing, big dog?
He was just he was cowering. You know, you hit him with some, and he was cowering. Some lower level guys would, you know, they find their way out. They're like, you know what? I tried to hit him. He did. He swung
He came
on
out like
you.
UFC 5, dude. Like, you just taught someone how to overhand right, and he just came out. Let's try this real quick. Never mind. It's all good. And at least he had the cut, because he had the cut, and I was like, well, you got to somehow, so.
This is what you know what? Oh, man. Frank, oh, my gosh. I'm forgetting his name. It was a Joe Rogan podcast, and it was one of them old heads. The dude who had the big beer belly and the beard from the old school days.
Tank Abbott?
Tank Abbott, yeah, Tank Abbott.
Let's go.
And he was on Joe Rogan. He was like, fighting is just a competition to see who's tougher. And at first, when he first said that, I was like, but then, you know, he was like, let me elaborate. He was like, the more skills you develop, the tougher you become. You know what I'm saying? But if you can teach someone all the skills in the world, if they're not tough, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the kind of the higher level you get. You know what I'm saying? You're just dealing with tougher and tougher mother. You know what I'm saying? It's like at a certain point, it's like, okay, you know, who's gonna fuck down first? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna stop first? And, you know, that wasn't necessarily the case this past Saturday night, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, like, certain people, you got to separate them from their consciousness. And they might not even be good, but just the fact that they're just so resilient will win them. You know what I mean?
So tell us about, you know, really this is, there was a lot said about you before your dirty boxing debut. In the media, everyone was wondering about what happened in the lead up to the UFC fight, and then you missed the weight, and then your opponent wouldn't take it, or and then, you know, there was people wanted you to go sit in your hotel room and cry instead of going out with your friends. And, you know, can you talk to us a little bit about that? This is kind of your first time talking to the fans, to letting them know, you know, what went wrong with the UFC, and, you know, how maybe you can mend that or whatever.
Nah, I think it was just something going up a weight class. I just took the cut for granted a little bit more than I should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was definitely like one or two adjustments, you know, I would have made way for that fight. You know what I'm saying? It was like people like, you gotta like it. I was like super sharp going into that fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like ready to fight. You know what I mean? I just I try to make weight close to the weigh-in, so that'd be like easy to rehydrate, and it just you know, like now it's just like as a policy, is like I'm just gonna get on weight the day before just to be safe. Don't have to be stressed about it, you know. Just get it done, not have to worry about it. Yeah, and then after the little clip that got out, that was, afterwards, because you know you have the weigh-in, you know, left, the fight was still on. All right, cool. All right, well, you know, I'm gonna lose some money, but all right, I'm still ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go take care of business. Then I'll, you know, wake up from a nap. Boom, the fight's off. And
Why?
He turned it down. So he accepted it. He accepted it. He accepted it. Then he turned it down. Which, you know, I'm not gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hold up my end of the bargain. So, you know, I'm not gonna say anything negative about him. But you know, but that happens. I sat in the hotel room and was bummed out, you know what I'm saying, having existential crisis for hours, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, dude, I gotta get the out of this hotel room, you know what I'm saying? And one of the big things is, like, my profile skyrocketed so quickly. I'm used to people not giving a about what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, not. I'm used to people like not watching me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I'm not thinking like. I went from one hotel to another hotel and stopped at one spot in between. And of course, you know, if someone gets a little clip of you out of that spot, they stopped that in between. A couple days later, you get on social media like, oh, oh. My boy called me. He said, "Right, that video." I was like, "Yeah, that video, dog." That's normally I can no matter what it is, I can kind of like peep through comments and like, you know, kind of like, you know, at least get like a vibe check. When I saw those videos pop out, I was like, yo, I know I'm getting crucified, and I didn't even have to like. I was like, I'm gonna just leave those alone. But it's like, once again, that's just like another lesson where it's like, hey, you know, people are watching. You got to be responsible. That's still something like. Even now, it's like, I'm do. I don't think people give. And it's like, okay, no, it's like, it's a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Like, people giving a what you're doing, but it's also like a responsibility and something you have to be aware of and conscious of. You know, so.
Did anyone notice you in the airport and stuff going back home after your fight?
From Chicago?
Yeah.
Or
like after Dirty Boxing, did you get home and people were like, yeah, good fight, man. Brian Battle, take a picture.
I may or may not have missed my flight. And and it was, you know, I figure, all right, boom. Normally, if you miss your flight, you just jump on the next flight. You know what I'm saying? You call them, hey, I'm sorry. All right, we'll put you on standby for the. All the flights were booked until 9:45 the next day. So, me and my, you know, I live in North Carolina. Me and my homie.
One more night. Oh, you got a rental car? You drove back?
Rental car, just drove back. I was like, yeah, I need a
road trip.
I'll get in trouble if I stay here another night. Let me go ahead and take my ass home.
I've said that one before.
Road trip. Oh, man.
I got a quick one.
Yeah.
I got a good one. I'm curious, dude. Like, it sucked because you're on such a UFC. First of all, I was shocked they let you go. I think they'll bring you back 100%. But was it disappointing to you? It's got to be hard to find Brian Battle on a week's notice, you know, in a new organization like this, like someone with a name to come in here and actually give you a fight. You probably went into that fight with a chip on your shoulder. Were you a little bit disappointed that he wasn't there to throw down? Did you want to get it a little bit more messy, or are you happy with it?
I wanted to, you know, like, I guess I'm a freak, you know, I like to feel it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, man, you know, we come to fight, and I feel like Mike can attest to this, is generally, like, when you do the face-off, you can you get a vibe check, you get an aura check, you can kind of tell when it's really going to be a fight and when it's not going to be, you know what I'm saying, when someone's not really there to, like, die, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can look someone in the eye and you can be like, okay, this is going to be basically a fight, you know what I'm saying? You can look someone in the eye and you can be like, you know, if I hit them good a couple of times, they're probably going to fold, you know what I mean? And so that was one of those, I was like, this, you know, just off the aura, off the vibe, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, never sleep on anyone, but
It's going to be easy night at the office.
I didn't know who you were fighting until y'all was facing off in front of me, and I was like, oh, bro looks tough, dude. He looks kind of big. And then I saw him walk out with his shirt off and Dirty Boxing in the ring. And I was like, oh, he ain't got no muscles. Like, no muscle definition. And then he came out swinging wild, and I was like, hold up now. And then he was just kind of quitting, you know. I mean, but you were making him quit. I mean, I could tell that you had some deep power, whatever you were hitting him with. He just didn't want that.
Yeah, no, it was the impact of the punches were incomparable. You know what I'm saying? And he was kind of like throwing out of fear, where I was throwing to like take his off. off. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different type of punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you said I could attest to it, and I'm like, I feel like I always face off with people and think that they are, you know, because I think, like, you can't just overlook them. Even though I like to try to, mentally, I'm like, yeah, I'm just overlooking you, and I'm just going to smash you because I know I can take it. And then they'll land. Even if they land, split my shit, I'm like, nah, I'm going to walk you down. I'm going to knock you out. But some people, I just feel like I always fight these little savages, bro. Like Julian Lane, he's a little savage. Like, I about knocked him out. And then he came back. And he was in the fight in the 5th round. But my hands were destroyed from smashing his forehead repeatedly with my punches. And then, like, 5th round, I was like, I'm just going to fake at you because I can't hit you anymore. And I was just, like, moving. That's when Mike Perry had head movement. And I was like, I was faking at him. Like, I'm going to punch you. And then I didn't throw one. Because he was a tough little So, I don't know, though. I think because, like, that first period in that fight when I kind of found his button, and it was like he wouldn't let me find it again, but I feel like if I find anyone else's buttons and then Michael Venom Page, his button. And he's killing right now. He's doing great. He just had that big win over Jared Cannonier. But, you know, I mean, Jeremy Stevens is a small guy, and I'm seeing that we're the same size really, but he fights small and he's a sharp little fighter with 40 UFC fight experience. I'm going to find some buttons on him, and then if I don't, I'm just going to walk through whatever and just break him. That's my game plan. There you go, Jamie.
Yeah, Jeremy Stevens, that's just like, he's like one of those killer be killed type. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you're going to see a new side of him. It's going to be the quitting side. Because I am going to walk through that motherfucker. With all his skills and talent, he can be Speedy Gonzalez. He can hit me, and I'm prepared for it. But I'm going to go in there speedy on my swaggy goo, Magoo. I'm going to find a fucking button on his little... It's a little big face. He's got a little, because he's smaller, big face. Like, he's got big cheekbones that they're going to fit my hands nicely. You know? I'm excited to do that. After watching you go down, throw down, man, and make a buzz on everybody, I'm ready to go be in the ring.
Man, stop playing. You're always ready to be in the ring.
I know. I also like to go to the club and drink too, though.
Yeah, I know. It's a hard. It's
the balance of life.
The balance. You know what I'm saying? That's my new thing. It's only like after fight, like a little short window. Boom.
Okay.
No more.
So how's the? Because you said you'll gain weight if you chilled for too much. Like, are you always on a diet? Are you always watching your sugar intake?
Always like monitoring it. Like there's a difference between like, you know, monitoring it and not being like crazy, and then there's like the dialed in, like, you know,
can't even have dessert after dinner.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like right now it's like, okay, yeah, cool, I can, you know, have I can go to like a cookout with the family, you know, enjoy myself. And it's like most of the days it's got to be, you know, pretty reasonable. Got to watch my calorie count, you know what I'm saying? All the macros and whatnot. But then, you know, like when I fought Randy, I had to skip Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying?
If UFC called you right now for a fight next week, what you got 7 days to cut to 185. Can you drink a bunch of water and diet your ass down and make it happen right now to get that call?
I would. If I got that call, I would get off this podcast, throw on some sweats, and start running. You know what I'm saying? I'd make it one way or another. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what happened with the DBX fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The agent hit me up. I was like, all right, cool. Threw on some sweats and started running like 4 miles twice a day. You know what I mean? And just kept on running until, I was on weight. You know what I mean?
That's sick. And considering you are a winner of Tough and the Ultimate Fighter, I mean, that show in history, like we've watched that show for years and years and years. And those guys the guys who win that show get a little bit of support pick from the UFC, so I would like to see him give you another shot, not to lose one of our rising stars in dirty boxing, but to get you back into the gig over there, man, see why that all happened and if they could give you another chance. I'm just shooting it out there for you. Dana!
Yeah. 50 G's.
Call Bryan Battle, man. He's on the good path. He's on the good foot.
I'm be a good boy. I promise. I behave myself.
If we can make it happen, But speaking of UFC, let's make some UFC fight picks.
While we pull that up, Brian, I got a quick question. It might be stupid, but like, do you attribute somewhat of like the weight issues? Like, is it just genetically you have to constantly battle? Like, if that's your dad in your corner, this big old dude, like, is it genetically you have to really maintain your weight, or are you like a snacker? You're someone that just like loves eating.
Oh, it's a combo.
Is it a combo? Okay.
It's a combo. Like, I mean, like, you don't get to 300 pounds by not liking to snack. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just. But also it is like genetically like it's harder for me to lose weight than it is for me to like gain. Like, I can gain weight like quick as, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like losing weight is something, obviously I can do, but genetically speaking, I'm on the other end of the spectrum where it's like way easier for me to get big than it is for me to get small.
Yeah, your genetics want you to be a heavyweight.
Yeah.
If you just ate and squatted 600 pounds and benched 315, man, you did a few reps of that you'd be a heavyweight fighting Johnny Bones or Tom Aspinall. What do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing about heavyweight. Up until you get to like the top 5-6 guys, most guys are really kind of like me. They just don't diet. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of those guys, that's kind of what they're like. And then you run someone like Francis Ngannou, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who like is a real deal, 6'4", 6'5", has to cut to make 260. You know what I'm saying? Physical specimen.
Big Ben Rothwell.
Yeah.
That mother sits at 300, almost like in athletic shape.
Yeah.
Nuts.
It's crazy. He could go run a sprint at 300 pounds. It's wild. All right, let's talk about these fights, man. We got Nasruddin Imavov and Cal Barao, the Fighting Nerds. Those guys are just winning big right now. What do you think? Will you make a pick there? I'll make a pick.
I'm gonna go Kyle. I'm gonna go Kyle.
Oh.
You know how me and the French people are.
All right, dude, that was one of the most epic. You thought I was gonna lose the fist fight to a French dude? I went, oh. Here we go, dude. That was Brian. That was all time, dog.
You bullying me? I love it. Let me get that. That was hilarious.
That was like the best crowd ever to fight in front of. Those guys,
Yeah.
you talk about energy. Hell,
Savages. French are savages, bro. I like your pick. I like the Fighting Nerds, but it's hard for me to take anything away from Nasruddin. He won some fights I didn't think he was gonna win. But the Fighting Nerds seem to understand something. I guess I'll go with that too, man. Cal Barao, because the
Same.
Fighting Nerds. I'm gonna copy your pick, bro.
Yeah, 'cause like you said, him about like, I mean, he just beat Stylebender, so you know, it's like he's a real deal. But
Right. I mean, minus 145 at Overdogs.bet. Get you $100. Matt,
BSD.
who'd you pick?
Oh, it's Cal. Like, dude, I just think.
Okay.
I don't know. We've seen one Fighting Nerds loss, and it's not just to lump them all in, but one Fighting Nerds loss, and Protest obviously got that one back. He's back on the winning track. I think Cal's going to bring it to him anywhere he wants it, and I think he'll probably win. It's going to be rough with that French crowd. He's got to dial in his Brian Battle energy, but we'll see.
I think those Fighting Nerds are smart, and I think he'll probably thrive in that environment. You know what I'm saying? He seems like someone will get a kick out of the crowd giving him.
What's harder, fighting at home or fighting in another country, or you don't care?
Me, because I was actually the first two events for the UFC I had outside the Apex. One was in my hometown. I had it was UFC Charlotte, and I was the second fight on the card, so I didn't expect hardly anyone to be there. But UFC never comes to Charlotte, so it was packed off the rip. And when I walked out, that's literally my first time outside the Apex. I was like, this is easy. Like, the crowd was going crazy and everything. And I was like, is it always like this? It wasn't. Like, it was a special thing. And that's the one I knocked out the 14 seconds. Mm-hmm. But then France, but that one was like emotional, right? You know what I'm saying? Fighting at home, everything's like, wow, you got your families and friends in the crowd. That's like emotional, like feel good. Where like France, when you're like in enemy territory, that's just like kind of fun, you know what I'm saying? Like going there, you know what I'm saying? You're the number one op in the building, you know what I'm saying?
Nothing to lose.
Get to one's night and whatnot. So what I always say is like my biggest thing is energy. Like I just whether they're cheering for me or like trying to boo me out the building, like just give me energy. That's when I fought on the T-Mobile card against Randy. That was one of the things that threw me off because it was like I was literally fighting in between two former world champs. Like I think Chris Weidman fought right before me and Aljo fought right after me. Mm-hmm. But we were on the prelims. And in Vegas, since they have fun all the time in Vegas,
people don't show up to me.
It was like maybe halfway full, if that. When I'm walking out, I'm just like, where the energy at? You know what I'm saying? Like it's, there's a little bit of a pop, but it's nothing crazy. And it's like, oh man, I was expecting a little bit more energy here. So it's like me, I don't cheering, booing, as long as there's a bunch of people in the building that give a. You know what I mean?
I'm so sorry. This is a little bit off topic, but you said Charlotte. You're from North Carolina. Are you a UNC fan? You said you played football too, growing up.
Nah, bro, I ain't claiming UNC right now, dog.
Oh, but yeah, because you saw that weekend. What?
I'm a Maryland fan, but I tell you what, being here, I saw that coming because I've been watching all with Bill Belichick.
You see his girl walk up to him during the game and tell him.
His girl walked up to him during
the game. Dude, I've never seen anything like it. She walked over to him. She's standing there with her pants doing this and said something, and they both turn around and she walks off all slow. I've never seen. What did I? Dude, sorry, I had to bring that up.
Dude, no, it's crazy. I'm like, bro, you're Bill Belichick, dog. Why are you letting this young girl? She's younger than me. She's younger than me. You know what I'm saying? You're older than my dad. Why is she telling you what to do, dog? That's crazy. Yeah, and I heard like he was like hiring his family members to work on staff and like that. So it was something. I think this was just like he took it. He was getting paid. I don't think he really gave a whole lot of about this. Being at UNC for real. Yeah. And it kind of should like for UNC to get whooped like that. But TCU's a good program. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be doing that to UNC. No. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, but I was born in Maryland, though. I'm a Maryland Terrapin fan, which isn't much better, but
okay. I'm from New Mexico. I don't got much to brag about, dude.
Yeah, man. college football is depressing. It's a depressing season of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they started us against Michigan this year, and we suck at football. So, yeah, that was fun.
Michigan's rough.
Yeah. Oh,
So
real
what
quick,
else
though,
do you do other than fight people and watch sports? Any other businesses outside?
I don't even watch a whole lot of sports anymore, for real. Man, I tell you, this last year has been really, really crazy. And now, in light of all the stuff that happened, like, I was really, there's a lot of business ventures and business opportunities. And I was kind of like, okay, well, you know, I'll lock in, I'll do the fighting right now, and then when I'm done fighting, I'll start diving into all that stuff. But after everything that happened, I was just kind of like, nah, you know, I got time right now. I need to start figuring out, like, some stuff to get into right now to kind of, like, you know, just take advantage of the time I got, you know what I'm saying? Just make as much money as possible, period, you know what I mean? So, you know, I'm trying to cook up some things right now, trying to figure some things out, and, yeah, so eventually.
Are you a good cook since you used to be a big...
Hell no.
Damn.
No, I have 5 sisters who are good cooks. You know what I'm saying? I got a mom who can cook, you know what I'm saying? I was the only boy in my family, so I was always able to, like, someone be cooking something, I'd come, oh, I'm so hungry.
That's gotta be why you can fight, dude.
Yeah.
You wasn't trying to beat your sister's boyfriends up?
Absolutely. That the first fight I got into was it was an older kid. He was talking shit to my older sister, and you know, I was pretty timid growing up, you know what I mean? And but it's my sister, and it just like snapped, and we started fighting. They pulled us apart. And it was funny because there was 2 ways to get to my house. Like, you could cut through someone's backyard and be there right away, or you can go the long way, right? Go the long way around. And I knew where these were going to be. They were going to be at this basketball court. And so I got on my bike and I went the long way around, knowing I was going to see these motherfuckers again. I saw him. He threw a at me. I charged him. Oh, yeah, that's my first experience fighting someone. They had to pull me off his dumb ass.
That's
awesome. So it was in defense of my sister, you know.
Good brother.
That's a good reason. Yeah, you're a good brother, bro. Don't be yelling at his sisters, man.
I have good sisters. Shout out to my sisters. My sisters are awesome. Lindsay, Leah, Grace, Christina, Tiffany. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I like to think that's why I'm so good with the ladies, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on and telling us a little bit about your story and everything. Super proud of all that you accomplished, and I hope you find those business ventures you're looking for, and keep grinding and get some more wins under the book, bro. I look forward to seeing your next performance.
Same. Cheering for you, dude.
I appreciate y'all very much. You know, Dirty Boxing was awesome. Mike, I've been a big fan for years. You know what I'm saying? I think I watched your first UFC fight live at not at the venue, at a bar, you know what I'm saying? But it was the Asian dude you fought your first UFC fight.
You thought it was your friend, boy.
Yes.
What did he say? What did he say?
Like, who the f- this guy? Then he knocked him out and said, oh. So, and it's like, and once again, as being someone who is a free agent outside the UFC, you have like a great model to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
thanks, man.
You're outside the UFC, and you know, still probably a bigger name now than you were when you were in the UFC, just because all that you've been getting into. So, you know, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the whole organization. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm excited to see
Stay on the grind, man. Stay on the grind. Yeah. You'll be the next biggest name outside of, you know, wherever they are. There's lots of influencer fights to get out here, and there's lots of people that, you know, for you to beat up. And maybe Dana will call, but if not, we'll get you some fun going in some good places, and we'll celebrate, man.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Let's keep it running. I appreciate you, Bryan Battle. What a great last name, by the way. You were born to be in some battles.
It was destiny.
It was destiny.
5 sisters and last name Battle. Like, bro, you were built for this.
You know, someone in my family had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Might as well be me, right?
All right, man. There we have it. Our guest, Bryan Battle. He was fun to talk to, man. Lots of good insights out of him. I think he's just chill dude, living his best life as possible. You know, we all make mistakes, and you know, we can only go from there and do the best that we can with what we got. And he definitely did that at Dirty Boxing, and he's looking to continue doing that. So I look forward to seeing more from Bryan Battle.
Yes, sir. Same. Huge fan.
Good times, man. Is there any subjects that we could run through?
So, Mike, let me get your thoughts. The whole Roger Jackson, Rampage Jackson, Sicko Steve Smith situation. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been sending my thoughts to Rampage, about that. And from a professional standpoint, someone who kind of understands a little bit about the WWE type pro wrestling, while it may be a fake thing sometimes, a lot of the pain and brutality and horrific injuries go with that sport hand in hand. So bringing Raja in, who is not a professional wrestler, having him sign papers saying he can go into the ring and do this act, and to make it look violent and as real as possible, and he definitely did that. They continue to play along, tap the guy out while he's unconscious, continued the
choking
show.
on his teeth. Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, and Rampage has said it too. He's like, whatever discipline needs to be done for his son, hope he comes out better on the other side of it, whatever that might be. People are going to crucify me for saying this, but it's like, that's pro wrestling, dude. Like, those guys do some horrific stuff to each other. Razor blades cutting each other, all type of crazy things. And
but Mike, what do you think about the follow-up shots specifically? Because look, I
thought they were spastic. I thought that there was a lot of it was for entertainment, but a lot of it was for Raja trying to prove a point.
Get his licks, bro. Like, I saw that he hit him so many times after. I'm like, now this has gone from a misunderstanding or possibly outlashing to this horrible. This is a crime of some sort.
He should have a punishment.
I don't really know.
But I think he needs guidance.
Yeah.
Because, and now, a lot of podcasts have said, if it wasn't the great Rampage Jackson's son, what would we be thinking?
I don't think it ties to Rampage as much as some people say. Sure, Rampage, that's his father, and he hasn't. I think here's Rampage's only fault. I think
the reason people are tying it to Rampage because there was just videos of Rampage talking to him on stream.
Yep. And then since then, his response since then, but it's like he didn't
went in the ring. It was like, I'm so tired of this.
I know, dude. It really seems like
it's horrible.
It's a horrible situation, man.
But Stu's awake.
Mm-hmm.
What's his thoughts on that? Why didn't Raja do anything when the first beer thing happened? That was assault. It was out of the show. That was assault. He should have just done it to him then, and then it would have been self-defense. But in a professional ring, at a professional show, a lower class professional show, he's a professional streamer. and they want views, they want clickbait, and he accomplished the mission of having the most viral thing to be talked about. We're still talking about it. Now that doesn't excuse it, but it's also
it lends.
It's a thin line because of the professional sport.
The thin line would cross though after about the 5th unconscious punch. Yeah.
And when he gets in the ring and he him up, you can't about it. He him up because he signed a contract to do that.
I guess. Did it say that? I mean, does the contract say you could take half his?
There is video footage. Rampage posted he's like, this is my last time talking about it. He posted this video, and I tagged him today in some. It was called Ghetto Wrestling, and this dude, like, he got his face stomped, and then he got up and he picked the guy up and he throws his back into a tree, and then he face stomps him and pinned him. And everybody there was outside, like there was a few people, but the guy recording was like, "Oh, it's crazy!" They were having a blast with it because it's sick to do that type of shit, that wrestling. And yeah, that kind of like is in. There was videos of these guys being like, "Get your licks, get him." Yeah.
But there was also a video of like the guy apologizing.
Make it legit.
Yeah, that was that one wrestler. I know. I haven't like. Here's the way I see it, dude. No matter what the agreement was, there was no way it was beat this dude unconscious. Like, I mean, beat him, maybe hit him unconscious, maybe hit him too hard one time. It's the follow-up shots. Like, that to me just crosses a line where dude, you might not believe, I've knocked people out before. And just to hit someone like that, where they get to the point where they're choking on their I can't imagine, like, continuing to wail on someone that's out cold. Now, a couple of those shots, maybe they tried to pull the dude off. This just becomes something like, dude, you are a loose cannon at this point. And I don't blame Rampage. Like, I don't appreciate or think it's appropriate for him to get all the shit he's been getting, or like he's responsible. I don't think he's handled it very well whatsoever. I mean, like, he's just right back to normal, where it's a up situation. But I'd never tell someone to sue someone. He should be sued. He should go to jail. But that is scary. That was a scary beating. Like the type of beating that you have to wonder, like, bro, are you a problem? Like, is this going to happen again? Because it looks like it was just waiting to happen. Because I saw the video of him kind of apologizing, or it seems like he's apologizing and Rogers accepting it, to get that amount of comeback, or, get your licks back after it's been explained it was a misunderstanding. That to me is just crazy. I don't care if you're Rampage's son or not. Wailing on someone like that when they're unconscious and people are pulling you off is unconscionable to me. Like, that's just, I don't understand that.
It kind of seemed like at the end of the ground and pound, like he was trying to make it look more like wrestling. The way he was spastic, like,
and they were trying to pull him off, kind of, and he's just
right.
I think he was just lit. He was
getting hits, and then he started like missing shots, and like he was like trying to make it like a wrestling flirt.
And that could be the concussion he had days before.
Maybe he was like, "Oh my God, wake up, dude."
I think that's a stretch. Maybe, but that's a stretch.
Wake up, bro.
But he had a concussion apparently a couple days before. If that's all true.
Yes,
maybe
he
that's
did.
like putting him in this mode,
got
like
kicked in the face, and Rampage was like, "Oh, he had you on street," and then Raja was like, "I want to
get my licks.
I want to get my get backs."
He got his get back and then some. And so I don't know, man.
He has not been arrested.
No.
Probably because of that professional contract.
Probably.
Because he was asked to get in the ring and do that. Now,
see, and if that's all true,
he
then
was
it comes
kicked
down
off
to
kick. He was suspended. So he's not streaming. It's just, I know what most people would say, but it's like, professionally, it's going to be looked at if it even goes to court. because he hasn't been arrested. So, you know, I don't think having to do with Rampage really at all. Obviously, it's his son, like, but it's not the
I'm
same
giving no one
thing.
advice, but he should have just stayed off streaming for a week. Make it look like you're going
Rampage?
to. Yeah, maybe,
Why?
dude. Because that's what got him. That's why
But
he's
Rampage is doing his own business right now.
and that's why. But I'm saying maybe just take a week, dude. Maybe just take a week though, because like that's where he got all the shit where he's talking too much now, and it's just coming down like where he's saying Stu was drunk now and all this stuff. Where it's like that's my only problem with what Rampage is doing, and I don't have a problem. He's a grown man; he can do whatever he wants. But I'm just saying, I just think there was a better way for him to handle it, where it doesn't seem so like just it wasn't me, didn't have nothing to do with it. I told you Roger's crazy. I mean, I don't know. Tough situation. If I was him, I would have stayed off just for a little bit. Came back, at least made it look like I was trying to deal with what my son had
Young
just done.
men, dude, they have to make mistakes.
I agree.
Severe mistakes before they can ever really learn. And it's scary because, like, I'm raising a boy, and I don't want him to have. I'm trying to teach him all the things. I got him in school. Like I wasn't in school at 3 and 4 years old. Little bro's in school, like that's my baby, and I think about the future. Like one day it's gonna come when I hope whatever decisions he makes, he makes them smart. But all boys eventually are gonna be reckless and make some stupid decisions, and then they have to find out what consequences are in order to really learn. It happens like and that taught me a lot. Like 6 months in jail teach you a lot of where you don't want to end up, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So you got to go back to society and be a valuable member. But tell you what, we can squash it right there, man.
Sure.
Good episode of Overdogs podcast today. We got some good chat in with Bryan the Butcher Battle. Good talk with Mac there at the end, considering the Raja situation. And Stu. Hope Stu makes a full recovery. And whatever happens with that, I hope it's what's supposed to happen. God's will be done. And
that might be what Stu says when he comes out and finally talks about it. He might say, you know what, that was a bad day at the office, misunderstandings, let bygones be bygones, and then we all got to drop it.
We have no idea what he's going to say.
And I don't believe in being mad for other people. So,
well, you seemed pretty mad for someone else, but
no, that was just egregious. That was it. It was just egregious.
All right.
We'll see.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments. Overdogs, our fellow Overdogs watchers. Yes, you are all Overdogs as well. Let us know what you think in the comments, man. Get back to us, and we'll get back to you. We appreciate you watching, as always. Thanks so much, and stay tuned for more Overdogs.